Mr. Speaker, I've been in this institution for 10 years now, and there are certain individuals that get recognized for a minute, and then they speak a lot longer than a minute. I'd like to yield one of those minutes that Mr. Hoyer gets to my good friend, Mr. Steil, if that's available.
The gentleman will be recognized for 1 minute.
Well, then, Mr. Speaker, I would instead yield to my good friend from Wisconsin, Mr. Steil, as much time as he may consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I thank my friend from the great state of Illinois. Mr. Speaker, I support the Protection and Advocacy for Voting Access Inclusion Act, which makes a simple technical fix. It would now include, as noted, the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands and the American Indian Consortium as eligible recipients of funding that would help improve voting access for people with disabilities. Originally, this bill was to be paired with the confirmation of Congressional Observers Access Act on the suspension calendar. And I must note that I'm pretty disappointed we're not also moving forward with the Congressional Observers Access Act. I introduced this bill with the support of Ranking Member Davis in July, and I believe that it is a missed opportunity to increase Americans' public trust in our elections. The Observers Access Act would simply have clarified that designated congressional election observers, that individuals who've been designated in writing by Congress, would have the access they need to observe the administration of federal elections. This is not a partisan bill. In fact, Congress already has this authorization under the Constitution. The straightforward bill would have provided clarity, which our state and local election officials requested in order to more readily provide observer access. I'm disappointed my colleagues on the other side of the aisle walked away from doing these bills on suspension, and I encourage them to work with Ranking Member Davis and myself to get this passed as soon as possible. We must work together to take common sense steps that promote election integrity. I yield back to my colleague from Illinois.